What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. It is currently snowing where I am, which I know to some people doesn't sound like a big deal, but here, that is definitely a big deal. Um, a lot of stuff has happened. We're really just if every month is going to be like this, if every month is going to be like this, I feel like the heart attack rate in this country is going to skyrocket. Um, there's been a lot of updates on the ICE. Thank you, headphones. There's been a lot of updates on the occupation that ICE has in Minnesota. Some of which are, Greg Bovino showed his ass so bad that they demoted his ass. He got sent back to basically patrolling other parts of the country because he fucked up Minnesota so bad, and Tom Homan went there to replace him. I guess Tom Homan's been negotiating with the governor of Minnesota this whole time, but there's a lot of stuff that's been happening. The government, the Senate failed to vote on a spending bill that would increase ICE funding. You know, Hakeem Jeffries in the House has just been refusing to do his job. There's an article that came out saying he won't whip the vote against ICE funding. And then the House eventually passed the spending bill with 7 Democrats on board. And then the senator from Connecticut came out and started talking about the bribery letter that Pam Bondi sent to Minnesota. So here's that here.
By now you've seen this horrific video, another individual killed in Minnesota. It's just fucking awful, the inhumanity of this. We cannot fund ICE as it is constituted today. But we found out something else really important today. Pam Bondi sent a letter to state officials in Minnesota in which she made a list of demands for ICE to leave Minneapolis. And one of those demands was that the state turn over its voter rolls to the federal government.
How insane is that? That they're using the threat of basically military occupation so that they can get to Minnesota's voter rolls. How insane is that? And then now they're trying to pass a Make Elections Great Again bill that would federalize elections in the United States in just the most overreaching way possible. Yeah, Republican lawmakers reveal Make Elections Great Again Act, a bill that would impose extreme federal voting restrictions. It would basically impose strict voter ID requirements, voter roll purges, and then also banning mail-in voting. Yeah, they're doing this on purpose. That's how the Republicans have always, or the conservatives, I should say. That's how the conservatives have always won elections, is that they have rigged the system against all the people that would vote against them. I mean, they do it on purpose. Why is Election Day not a national holiday? Because then some places would let you get off work, and it would make it easier for you to vote. And if you're not able to vote because you're working, you're more than likely going to vote for the pro-worker party, which at the moment is seemingly the Democrats. And that's just how it works. So they are always rigging the system to be in their favor. There we go. Now I'm not, shining off my forehead. But yeah, it's insane. There's other stories out of Minnesota. They kidnapped this boy, Liam Ramos. Here's the picture that's been going around of this poor kid. How fucking sad, man. This is so despicable. They've already killed multiple people, right? Keith Porter Jr., Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and now they're kidnapping. I mean, they've been kidnapping children, but my God, what is this kid, Like, what threat is this kid to the country? Why are we rounding up this kid? Look at him, man. He's got a little Spider-Man backpack, his little beanie. He looks horrified. And apparently they sent him to a camp in, I don't remember. It's somewhere in the south, way far away from Minnesota. But it's where his dad is being held. It's just absolutely disgusting. Yeah. They're trying to say that ICE did not target a child. Oh, really? Are you sure? Yeah, they're trying to spin it like his parents abandoned him. Fucking stupid, dude. You know, and so what are the Democrats going to do about this?
The tragic death.
Here's what Cory Booker said about ICE.
We must do more. The tragic death of Renee Good has brought into clear spotlight so many of the things the Trump administration is doing to make our communities less safe. But one of the most alarming crises are issues of training and accountability standards for ICE officers. The Trump administration has cut the training down from 5 months to about a month and a half. They have eliminated age requirements and are hiring recruits as young as 18 years old. They're putting people into training before their background checks are even complete. And so when you see people cut corners, people die. I'm continuing to lead new legislation that will bring further high professional standards and accountability to ICE officials. We must also set minimum training standards. We must ban the hiring of anyone affiliated with hate groups.
Yeah, that's the solution here.
We must hold a...
That's the solution. Reform the Nazi Party and don't just straight up abolish them. We should just get rid of ICE. I don't understand how we create so many redundant, quote unquote, law enforcement departments. I don't understand the need for a militarized pseudo police force patrolling the streets of Minnesota looking for migrants. You know, I don't understand that. Don't we have other systems in place that we could use to find people who aren't here legally? And even then, that doesn't even align with what I believe. I think it should be easier to become a permanent resident here and also a citizen. And if you came here, quote unquote, illegally, I keep saying quote unquote, and then I do the hand thing, illegally, I don't care. I really don't. I believe in freedom of movement. I think we should have a EU-style open border with all of North America. I think that's how it just should be. You know, I think people should be able to pass in and out of any country they want with total freedom. But, you know, that's a radical idea to Republicans. So, yeah, here's some information. They deployed the National Guard, and the National Guard are distinctly marked so you know who's the National Guard and who's not. Basically, to to separate them from being seen as ICE agents, pretty much. Giving out donuts, they're wearing vests.
The Care Bears first aid van. Okay. All right. So I've got like BBMs, some occlusive.
Yeah, the high vis vest is so
know,
you know it's
stuff.
the National Guard.
So if you guys need anything like that.
How sad is that? How sad is it that they have to distinguish themselves like that so you don't also they're not covering their face. That's the other giveaway that they're not ICE. But I think they're just there to observe. I don't know if they would step in and stop ICE if if they I'm like blanking. I don't think they would stop ICE if ICE was doing another execution on another citizen. I think they're just there for show. Here's a video of them attacking ICE agents. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is like right after the Alex Preddy assassination. Whoa. This guy with a wave of allergies. They're hit. Oh my God, no, the DHS. They're hitting me with the sick ray. Ugh.
Hello, and thank you for joining us.
So after all of this happened, Trump decided to backtrack heavily on all of this.
As CBS News has obtained a Customs and Border Protection memo sent to Congress that has more details of the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. The notice reveals 2 agents fired their weapons during the incident. There's also no mention in the memo that the 37-year-old ever brandished his own weapon. Some Border Patrol agents have started leaving Minneapolis following backlash from Saturday's shooting and ongoing pleas from state and local officials. Now the Trump administration is also facing potential legal trouble. A Minnesota judge has given the head of ICE until the end of the week to appear in person to explain why he should not be held in contempt for violating court orders. The judge is accusing the Trump administration of failing to comply with dozens of orders regarding legal challenges to Operation Metro Surge. ICE is accusing the judge of being a political activist. The Senate Homeland...
Oh my God, bro. I don't understand how Republicans at large don't recognize that. They say this about every ruling that goes against their actions. But I think this recent assassination by ICE has really opened people's eyes. I think the NRA coming out and even saying something about it has really opened up people's perspective here. Because think about what they said. They said, don't come to a protest and approach officers with a firearm on your hip. You know, your Second Amendment right. We already know the First Amendment's dead right now. You know, the First Amendment's dead. People are getting arrested for protesting, for exercising their First Amendment rights. Don Lemon just got arrested for simply being a reporter on the scene when they were protesting in that church. Which, by the way, the head of the church was part of ICE, which is why they were protesting there. We already knew the First Amendment was dead, but now that they've basically confirmed that the Second Amendment is dead, the thing that Republicans have built their identity on for my entire lifetime, yeah, I think people are starting to change their perspective here just a little bit.
The Security Committee has also confirmed the heads of ICE, CBP, and USCIS, or U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, have agreed to testify before Congress next month on February 12th. President Trump has been attempting to backtrack some of the rhetoric shared by his own administration officials regarding Saturday's deadly shooting. When asked today if he agreed with the assessment by his Homeland Security advisor Stephen Miller, who referred to Preddy as a would-be assassin, President Trump said no. CBS News correspondent Ian Lean joins me now from Minneapolis. What do we know?
Yeah. Stephen Miller's so gross that Trump disagreed with him.
Minneapolis, the top
They've also now kicked Bovino out of Minnesota.
border official is leaving the city and being sent back to his former role in California after a second U.S. citizen was killed by federal agents this month.
President Trump says he wants to see an honest investigation into the death of Alex Preddy. Ian Lee in Minneapolis with what's next.
Demonstrators in the Twin Cities are getting a bit of what they demanded. Some of the 800 Customs and Border Protection agents sent as part of a larger federal force are leaving, including Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino.
Any decrease in the numbers and the severity is just a huge relief to the community that's been suffering for months now.
Now on the ground, President Trump's border czar Tom Homan, sent to manage operations and work with local leaders.
He's meeting with the governor and he's meeting with the mayor.
President Trump says he'll be paying attention to the investigation into Alex Preddy's death.
I think they're starting to feel the heat here. I think they're starting to realize that this country is starting to fall apart, that there's too much disorder now amongst people. There's protests everywhere. You know, ICE is in Atlanta right now. ICE is, trying to come back to LA, and the LA protests are going on. The Minnesota protests are still going on. You know, I think people are feeling it, and I think the government's feeling it. I think they can see the writing on the wall that, if they keep pushing the line like this, it's not like how it would have been maybe 100 years ago. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody has all the same information. So they're all on the same page, and we all know what's going on. It's a lot harder now to do a fascist Nazi takeover than it was during the time of the fascist Nazi takeover in Germany. So yeah, and now the support for impeaching Kristi Noem is higher than ever, and it looks like it might even be slightly possible to impeach Kristi Noem and even Pam Bondi, because why not? I've been wondering, this is a question I want to ask out in the open. I've been wondering this for a while. If the president was no longer the president, that's how I'll put it, and they had to swear in J.D. Vance as the new president, does the entire cabinet have to be re-selected and reconfirmed? Or does it carry over into the next administration? I only ask because if Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi have to be reconfirmed for their roles, there's no way they're going to get reconfirmed. I don't even think Pete Hegseth could be reconfirmed. So, I don't know. I'm just wondering how that would work. I've never thought about that before. You know, when Gerald Ford and Lyndon B. Johnson took office, did they have to reselect the entire cabinet, or did the cabinet carry over? I guess I could look that up, but it's just a question that's on my mind. You know, I've been asking that lately because, you know, it's an interesting dilemma considering how little support these people have. I mean, this is, I think, the longest, you know, Trump has gone without firing major members of his cabinet. Because if you remember, during the first term, that man was putting up Andrew Johnson numbers. That motherfucker was firing everybody. He had a totally different cabinet from 2017 versus 2020. He had a totally different cabinet. So I'm just curious, you know, how all that would work. All right, let's talk about a little bit of Greenland, and then we'll get into the big shit, because there's a lot of interesting, horrific news that came out that ended up delaying this episode. Here's what our Treasury Secretary, for some reason the Treasury Secretary has a say on this. Here's what he had to say about Greenland.
You bring up Crimea. The president, as far as I have heard, has not taken military force off the table. If the United States were to take Greenland by force, how would that be different than Russia's annexation of Crimea?
Look, I believe that the Europeans will understand that this is best for Greenland, best for Europe, and best for the United States.
So, but military action is still on the table?
I haven't spoken with the president on that. And again, I believe that the Europeans will understand that the best outcome is for the U.S. to maintain or receive control of Greenland.
Well, so far what we've heard and seen from the Europeans is alarm and outrage. You bring up Crimea, the president.
I want to know why guys that look like this even care about something like this, you know? What do you mean Europe would understand? They clearly don't. They clearly don't want that. And he's literally doing the Russia excuse for why they took Crimea. Was that they were like liberating it. You know, they were saying like, "Oh, it's ours. It will be ours." That's what they were saying at the time. What the fuck? I would actually liken this more to the invasion of Ukraine than I would the annexation of Crimea. I would say this is way more like the full invasion of Ukraine, because we're basically saying that this land is ours. We need it. You know, we're just going to start making stuff up about about the people there and all that shit. That's what it's way more like than the annexation of Crimea. So, yeah, France had something to say about it. Apparently, Macron said that the EU should activate they're trade weapons because Trump wants to basically tariff the entirety of the EU over this, and I guess he wants to restrict how the U.S. deals in European markets. That heard a tornado siren. That was kind of freaky. Weird. Anyway, yeah, Trump also said that he's pursuing Greenland because of the Nobel Peace Prize shit. So stupid, dude. He sent a letter to the Norwegian president. Or he like texted him or something being like, this is why I'm taking Greenland, because he wouldn't give me a Nobel Peace Prize. So stupid. Anyway, let's get to the real shit. Representative Ilhan Omar was attacked by some crazy right-winger at a event. And yes, I can call him a right-winger because we now know that he is indeed a MAGA right-winger. She was talking about impeaching Kristi Noem. And this guy shoots out of his chair and then sprays her with something.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know.
Look at how she squares up on him, bro. There's another angle of it, but she's like literally ready to fucking beat the shit out of this guy. It's so awesome. I'd be so proud if that was my rep. I'd be so proud if she was my representative. Because she fucking squared up on the guy. That's so awesome. Yeah, fuck that guy, man. And it turns out he follows like Tim Pool and all those kind of guys. Not surprising. Fork found in kitchen. Nazi YouTubers found in the dude's following list. Who is shocked by that? It looks like we could potentially be heading into another government shutdown. I don't know. Let me see if there's any update on this because this post is already like a couple days old. The U.S. government shuts down partially over Homeland Security funding. So we have a partial government shutdown. Wow. Let's see what's going on. Government's entered a partial shutdown after Congress failed to meet a deadline of midnight on Friday to complete work on a spending package to prevent funding from running out across multiple federal departments. Wow. The funding is expiring in the Department of Defense, the State Department, and the Department of Health and Human Services. Holy shit. Yeah, well, if you ask me, there is no reform for ICE. There is no reform for the Department of Homeland Security. If you want my real radical opinion, I think we should abolish the Department of Homeland Security. I think that department's always been a mistake. We made it after 9/11. It was just used as an excuse to spy on American citizens, and they have not done what they're designed to do. I mean, be fucking real. So, I don't know. Maybe they should worry about like gun deaths in this country. Guns have killed more people. More people have been killed in gun-related incidents than terrorist attacks in the last like 40 years. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. I feel like ICE and the DHS should be abolished, but at the very least, ICE should be. Let's see. A couple more little stories to fire off the docket. This is computer related. This is my wheelhouse. This is computer related. Nvidia is going to stop producing 5070 Ti's. And Intel is focusing their production on Xeon processors. I just wanted to mention that because I don't talk about AI enough, and I used to talk about computer stuff all the time on here. And, you know, computers are just getting more and more expensive. You will own nothing and you will love it, is basically what it is. Because they all want to transition to cloud computing. And, you know, AI needs those computer parts, and you don't. So it looks like I will not be upgrading my computer anytime soon. All right, let's move back to politics. A representative is proposing an amendment to overturn Citizens United.
Years now since the disastrous Supreme Court decision of Citizens United.
I'm not going to play that because it's only going through the left ear, but he's basically saying we should overturn Citizens United, which is the Supreme Court case that allows corporations to be seen as people and allows them to donate pretty much infinite money to campaigns, which has destroyed our system of government. Be a little weary of this guy. He's proposing this amendment, but apparently he takes $243,000 from AIPAC. Ooh. So whether he's being legit about this amendment or not, I'm not sure. But it would be a nice amendment to have to overturn Citizens United. I mean, that would be pretty awesome, right? All right. Let's move to the juicy stuff. This is going to be the big bulk part of the episode. Because this is all the juicy shit that's gone down. Ted Cruz said in a private recording to Trump, you're going to lose the House, you're going to lose the Senate, and you're going to spend the next 2 years being impeached every single week. And Trump replied, fuck you, Ted. Oh, God. And then the other leaked thing that came out, which we're gonna watch this and react to it, is Erica Kirk on a private business call less than 2 weeks after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales.
Merch sales? Oh my God, bro. Her husband, like, literally just died at this point. And she's out here talking about merch sales. My God. There is no way I'd be this jovial 2 weeks after my, partner gets assassinated in public. There's no way I'd be this jovial. There's no way I'd be like, haha, we made 200,000 in merch sales. Wow, guys, great. We made so much money off of his assassination. Like, that's insane.
quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal. Their
put on a
incredible
fire
work
funeral,
leading
dog.
into the memorial.
Fire funeral.
And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep.
I'm telling you, there's just something about the way that she's talking is so off. Like, there were total strangers mourning for Charlie Kirk harder than she was. Her just like casually in passing going, yeah, you know, a lot of my staff weren't really sure how to handle the death of my husband. We got a lot of sleepless nights, you know, because of the death of my husband. So thank you guys. It's like very weird that she could just pop that off like that.
Again, you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like we have the most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that. And I am so thankful. And if you do have a moment and you run into any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and you know that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. There's something really special to be seen in moments like this, and it's not easy. I'm speaking from experience. I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just, a simple thank you. I don't care if any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that. Like, if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. And
I'm telling you, dude. How does a normal person sit there and just go, you guys got any beef? Look, my husband is dead. I know that's a little morbid, but my husband is dead. It's just... Damn, the fucking, like, door's gonna cave in. Jesus. You hear that? My God. Yeah, I just... my husband is dead. It's just, like, very off. It's very off-putting. It, like, gives me, like, the... Ugh. It makes my skin crawl.
it puts life into perspective of how short life is and relationships, and God puts people in your life for a reason, and it teaches you a lesson, it teaches them a lesson. So if you are going through...
People always say that when somebody close to them dies. People always say that. Yeah, it made me realize that life is fleeting. I've had a near-death experience before, and I had that same thing where I was like, I need to reevaluate the things that really matter in my life, because I was really stressed about a lot of like interpersonal drama at the time. And I'm not kidding you, like like not even a couple years later, I was right back to my old self. It changed me temporarily in that moment, but then like I was fine after that. Like I went right back to having petty drama in my life, doing dumb shit, like not valuing my time at all. And yet, you know, in that moment, I felt like, oh, I just need to really reevaluate my life. But like after that, the novelty kind of wears off, and you're like, oh, okay. So yeah. I don't know, man. Just something really unsettling about that. And I feel like we keep getting more and more information about Erica that really just confirms our theory that she just did not care that much when Charlie Kirk died. Like, she just doesn't display it. I don't know. It's just very... I didn't talk about it at the time because it felt kind of weird to talk about. I'm not Candace Owens. I'm not his work wife. But, like, this dog's going to drive me fucking nuts. But, like, come on. You know? It is off-putting. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about the big story of the week now. This is what delayed the podcast. Folks, I forgot I have to go through like an age verification to get to this. Yeah, I don't have to do it for all of them, thank God. Open all these motherfuckers up. I want to see which one's which. There's a particular file in the Epstein files that I want to talk about. Oh, that one's probably pretty interesting. And there's also some that have to do with Trump, which is pretty insane. I guess they like tried to wipe it afterwards. And it just did not work out. People got a hold of it anyways. There's an email exchange that I want to talk about first. That's just so bad. Like, it's so cringe. I'm gonna have to really go to Instagram to find it. Oh, geez. Is there the, thing trending? So, Elon Musk was basically corresponding with, Jeffrey Epstein, it seems. Yeah. He was corresponding with Jeffrey Epstein, and he said, am I supposed to read these from the bottom up? I think so. He said, we'll be in BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? Jeffrey says, any day, 1st through the 8th. Play it by ear if you want. Always space for you. The 2nd or 3rd would be perfect. We'll come and get you. Elon says, I need to fly back to LA on the night of the 2nd. So, W? Oh my God. So, W. Actually, I could fly back early on the 3rd. We will be in St. Bart's. When should we head to your island on the 2nd? Just a reminder, Elon Musk was asking about coming to your island on January 2nd. Begin forwarded message. So yeah, just direct connection between Elon Musk and Jeffrey Epstein. Does that not literally connect? Like, does that not explain how Elon was like, yeah, I know he's in the files. I saw him there. Like, come on, man. But there's some stuff with Trump, which is pretty nuts. You know, like there's a what looks to be a case, looks like a lawsuit between someone named Katie Johnson and Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And I guess she came after them and alleged a lot of stuff. A lot of like, and it's unredacted too. It's a lot of, you know, like horrible shit that you should go look at. She alleges that they forced her to engage in various perverted and depraved sex acts, and then threatened her if she didn't, threatened her family. She alleged that they willfully and with extreme malice violated her civil rights by conspiring to deny her civil rights by making her their sex slave. Yikes. This spans over the course of what looks like June to September 1994. She was only 13. She alleges that she was subject to extreme sexual and physical abuse by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, including the forcible, oh my God, trigger warning, including the forcible rape during a 4-month span. She alleges she was enticed by promises of money in a She was forced to manually stimulate Trump with with the use of her hand. Oh my God, dude. She was forced to basically give him a hand job. She was forced to give Donald Trump a blowjob. She alleges that she was forced to engage in an unnatural lesbian sex act with her fellow minor and sex slave, Maria Doe, age 12. Oh my God. After the sex act, both minors were forced to do stuff to Trump. He then physically pushed them both away while angrily berating them for the poor quality of their performance. Wow. And then on the fourth and final encounter, she alleges that Trump tied her to a bed and then he forcibly... Wow, holy shit, dude. Whoa. He told her to quote, get a fucking abortion if she were to get pregnant. Oh my God. Oh, and then there's like a list of stuff that Jeffrey Epstein did to her. Donald Trump called Jeffrey Epstein a quote-unquote Jew bastard. That's insane. If you want to go read that file for yourself, it's EFTA 00622300303. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to go read that one yourself. There's some other stuff in here too, but that one's definitely probably the worst one I've read so far. And yeah, so go check out the new Epstein file leaks. I don't want to talk about them too much because they are pretty graphic. There was like a joke one that they released. There was a joke one that they released where it was like a fake email between Elon and Jeffrey Epstein. I'm about to call him Jeff, like he's my personal close friend. But yeah, look, so look at this crap. Elon writes worst email ever, asked to leave Epstein Island. Hi Jeff, I was thinking of flying down for an epic vacation. Blank told me you were planning a party. Girls for the win. I cleared my calendar. What are the details? Thank you, good sir. And then he forwards it to Ghislaine. Deal with this, thank you. I'm so sorry, Elon. You just missed Jeffrey. He actually told me he was thinking of winding down the entire Little St. James operation. Bummer. If it starts up again, we'll be sure to let you know. I love that fake email, man. Oh, man. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it's in line with how he talks. He does kind of talk like that in the real emails. So, yeah. Go check those out. They're on the DOJ website, but also there's a comment that I found on Ask Reddit that has all the links for you. So go to Ask Reddit, and I'll show the comment on screen. So go to this link. I'll probably drop the link in the description, and there's just a list of every like important file. So yeah. All right. I think there's also some photos and stuff in there too, but I haven't gotten around to those yet. So sure, I'll talk about it more next week. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/FinlandPod. Wait a minute. Oh my God. There was like one final thing I wanted to show. So 2 weeks ago, my episode got a lot of traction amongst conservatives, it seems, or MAGA, I should say. Now, I did respond to some of them. Others I ignored because they're just stupid. But, yeah, I got a lot of comments on this one. As a Native American, I am deeply upset that you fight ICE and you want more migrants in America. This is proof that you seek to steal more land. I said some of the worst bait I've seen in a while, and they said, of course you don't believe it, white man. Oh, man, that's so funny. Yeah, I'm sure this dude just really, he really cares about the Native American cause. You know, he thinks that I want to steal more land as a white guy. This guy's so stupid, bro. Yeah, this guy said when the state refuses to work together with the feds in order to apprehend illegals, then ICE is forced to do everything themselves, and shit gets really messy that way. ICE conducting a lawful investigation does not give anyone the right to interfere with them. And if they do, then ICE can lawfully detain them. ICE was doing the same shit under Obama and Biden, but none of you had issues with it. This is one of my favorite comments, because people just assume that I am a Democrat. And that's an issue I've ran into. Depending on who is the president, I either get accused of being a Democrat or being a Republican. And nobody knows that I'm actually way farther left than both parties. So, obviously, I shit on both, because one party LARPs as being left and then doesn't fulfill the promises that they ran on. And then the other party is full send Nazis. So, obviously I criticize both. And I responded, I said I did have an issue with it when Biden was doing this, and I'm on camera on this podcast saying so. And then I go into how I was always complaining about Biden. And then I go into how they don't do background checks and all that shit. This is the thing. Biden deported more people than Trump did the first term. And so, obviously I don't like it when either do it. You know, Biden was still ripping up families and putting them in the camps that Trump was using at the southern border. You know, I don't agree with either administration's use of these tactics. You know, the whole way that they handle immigration in this country. I think the Democrats completely fucked up on immigration. They allowed the Republicans to spin this horrible racist rhetoric about immigration. And that's the thing that upsets me about Democrat voters, is that a lot of them don't recognize that their leaders don't care and will capitulate to right-wing talking points at any chance they get. I think pretty much like most of the nationally elected leaders of the Democratic Party need to all be replaced. Like most of them need to be swapped out. And there were a few other comments, you know, like, did Obama or all the Democrats ask for permission into Iraq or Libya? Where did the one guy go? Where I just gave him a link to something? Yeah, this guy, Trump could send in troops at any time. So much for the king/dictator theory, and then I just sent him this. Yeah, 2 army battalions put on standby for possible deployment. It's literally what he was planning to do at the time. This guy had just a full mental health crisis in my comments. Fuck leftist pigs and now stabbing Jake? Fuck 'em. Us patriots are done being patient. I don't know what that part means, the now stabbing Jake. Not really sure who that's supposed to be. ICE has always done this under other president, but you have useless piece of shit being gaslit by their infant, emotionally manipulatable mind. Impeachment only matters if Congress. Impeachment only matters if Congress. The fact that you mentioned Trump's cases, referring to the Georgia cases that I was shitting on Fonnie Willis for, and laugh means you watch and report headlines, not facts, or watch the cases. Dropping the ball on a legal case, go fuck yourself. This guy actually does not read, because I'm not just talking about headlines. You don't get all this info from headlines. Fonnie Willis screwed up the case because she was having a relationship with somebody else in her office, and it created something for the defense to use to get the case thrown out, or to get her thrown out as a prosecutor. And so eventually they took her off the case, and then a guy that's in charge at the Georgia government of reassigning cases to other prosecutors took the case on himself and then killed it. That is how the case was lost. You know, it wasn't thrown out because it was an illegal case. It was thrown out because Fonnie Willis fucked up. She screwed it up. Yeah, this guy's just so stupid. Impeachment only matters if Congress, people. This is the this is the type of guy we're dealing with here.
Yeah, that's right. Another problem I'm bitching about. But fuck it, problems are happening nonstop around here in America. It's ridiculous. Like, I just went to Walmart, and does anyone also find it annoying? I just always want to say it to someone, but don't want to sound like a dick. But is it not ironic that not only do they now make us do all the work where we have to self-check out,
oh my god, he's a self-checkout hater. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah, I don't like self-checkout because it gets rid of people's jobs. This guy doesn't like self-checkout because, why am I having to do everything myself? I should have just a servant do it for me. Oh, me and him are not the same. This is so funny.
they charge more for everything. So what happened to, we're going to automate things to make prices lower. So they charge more, they make you do all the work, and then they hover around you with some weird-ass midget standing behind you like you're fucking stealing everything you're trying to buy. Then, 10 feet away, there's another weird...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Prices haven't gone down with automation because the more people aren't employed, the worse the economy gets, the less the money's flowing around the economy. On top of that, CEOs don't do automation to cut down on the cost of goods and services. They use it so they can cut down on the amount of staff they hire, so they can profit more off of you paying the same price for all of your groceries, if not more. They profit off of that, and then they keep all that money for themselves. It's so they can make more money. This is the kind of guy that still believes in trickle-down economics. That's what this guy is.
Weirdo that sits there and asks you for a fucking receipt to see if you're stealing. Like, I don't go in there to just get criminalized constantly. I go in there to buy shit. I go in there to shop. And if you're going to make me do it, then get the fuck away from me and let me do the process. Is it just me, or is this just drive people nuts in their head and no one says anything about it? Yeah.
No, a lot of people do say something about it. As someone who's worked in retail, people leave a lot of reviews in our internal survey system about self-checkout. And I will tell you, we have to have that guy that stands by the self-checkout and watches you, because there are people that will pretend to scan something. You know, they'll scan something with something else behind it, so it beeps, and then they toss both into the bag. Or they'll, quickly shuffle stuff in while they're scanning other stuff. People do that all the time. Yeah, it may not be you. It's a little sus that you're getting so defensive about that. But it is other people that do it, That's why they have to do that. God, this dude's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got to keep bitching about everything I see nowadays because I'm tired of just sitting here quietly. So if one person sees it, then they're good to go. But is it fucked up to anyone else? I was in a store And I had seen a couple new people come and then go quickly, and it kept happening. And I asked them, the store I go to locally, I'm like, wait, what's going on? Like, why are these people, management must suck, huh? And they laugh and they go, no. Because when they got hired into the gas station, they didn't realize that stocking shelves was part of the job. So for $15 an hour, again, because you have to leave standing behind the register, which, by the way, they're putting mats for fat-ass people there because their feet hurt from standing at a register. Are you fucking kidding me? But stocking shelves...
Has this guy never worked a job like that, ever? I stand all day at my job. The only time I get to sit is when I'm sitting on a piece of machinery. And my feet are killing me at the end of the day. They're killing me right now, and I didn't even work today. I don't think this guy's ever worked a real job in his life.
Is too much for $15 an hour, they quit. Our society is fucked. Actually, the generation's fucked. Actually, we're all fucked unless people fix this, because this whole don't hurt anyone's feelings has got to...
$15 an hour is not that much nowadays. Inflation has been so bad in the last few years that $15 an hour is the new $750 an hour. You can't do dick with $15 an hour.
Go. Like, you need to, like, shape people into being a better person. You know, if you keep telling someone who's shitting themselves, oh, they're doing a good job, don't worry about it, you're just a beautiful, unique flower, they're going to fucking walk around as an adult just shitting themselves, and everyone's going to look at why they stink, not talk to them, and wonder what the hell's wrong with them. You're not doing them a favor, you're harming them. $15 an hour in stocking shelves was a no-go in the contract. What the fuck is that?
What is this guy's deal? Oh my god, this is just like angry about everything. Oh, we got a new one.
Yeah, I was just in downtown Detroit off the east side. I had to go out there. I had to stop by a shop. And also, I mean, I would do this randomly, but also yesterday my mother passed. So I figured I would go put some more warmth in the world, even if little as it is. But what I would do sometimes is just kind of randomly...
Yeah, this absolute ray of sunshine is going to go bring some warmth to the world.
Drive around and then help out some of the homeless people by giving them some cash. And I mean like meaningful cash, and not like a few singles or anything like that. And some people would give me trouble for it. You know, saying, well, they're probably just going to buy drugs or drink or something. But the point is it doesn't matter. If that's what they want to spend it on, that's their choice. And if it alleviates suffering for a day for someone, then that's helpful. Like, they wouldn't be alive if they weren't getting food. They might be hungry, or they might use it for drugs, but no one goes around telling us how to spend our money, right? We can go to the bar if we want. We can buy fast food, which is a bunch of junk food. We can...
Guy is so confusing. What is his political... This is like the average centrist. What is his political association, man? Oh, he like just recently started doing all these car rants, huh?
What's with this generation and our culture in America? Like, everywhere you go now, anything you buy, you have to do a fucking like biography and then a survey just to cash out at the register. And then on top of that, there's all kinds of, do you want to donate so kids can learn how to read? Do you want to donate? It's like, that's what our taxes are supposed to be doing. What the fuck do my taxes do then? And on top of that, then they ask you to tip.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this guy's the ultimate centrist, man. The ultimate centrist. What are my taxes going towards? Well, I can tell you one thing. It's going towards one of the largest police forces on the planet, which is ICE. So, you know, instead of you paying your taxes and it going towards people in need, no, it's going towards, you know, deporting children, 5-year-olds from the country. So, anyway, that's it. I just wanted to cover the comments from the last episode, because I didn't talk about it last week. And yeah, that's it. For real this time. Do I think Trump will be impeached after the midterms? Yeah, probably. I think it'll be too much. I think they won't be able to avoid it. Do I think that Kristi Noem will be impeached? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if she'll be removed. I don't know if either will be removed, but I think they'll at least be impeached by the House. All right, that's it. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. You can check us out on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can also listen to this podcast on other streaming platforms, like your Samsung fridge. Maybe even your washing machine. No, I'm just kidding. Probably not your washing machine. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay warm. Peace.